we were just talking about this, but last week we had one of our viewers of the Tour Report and one of our followers who got in touch to say that he had paid attention to Elk's dark horse pick of Sam Ryder, and wow, it was tense until the end. But Joey, you didn't have to wait until the very end to make your money. Talk us through, first of all, obviously, following the Tour Report, and what made you go with Sam Ryder after Elk gave out the pick?
Yeah, so I always listen to your podcast. I'm a big fan. I've always been a big fan of Steve Elkington when he was with his Jim Rome days. So I kind of followed you guys from there, and I saw the 100 to 1, and I'm like, okay, or 300 to 1. I'm sorry, yeah, 300 to 1, and I'm like, okay, well, let me load up on him just to see, because he checked just the putting. In this course, you had to be a good putter at. So I decided to do that, and I added him into my DraftKings lineup as well. I was the only one in them that picked Sam for the DraftKings lineup too. So after the first day, I was good to go. I liked his pairing with Brendan Steele. I know they're good friends. And then I started talking about after the second day, I'm like, well, he's going to be playing with him, after the second day as well. So on the third day, I'm thinking, I'm contacting everybody. I'm like, I'm reaching out to you guys, like, what should I do? What should I do? And lo and behold, I decided to let it roll because he was with Brendan again. But then after that, I kind of seen all the big guys kind of creeping up the leaderboard, and I just had a feeling it was time to cash out at the 6,400 to do that. So yeah.
So as we said, it was 300 to 1. You had $100 on it, and the first 2 days were great. And when you get a guy like Sam, who's really high odds and a total outsider, especially for such a difficult course, and for a tournament that, okay, we had Luke List win last year, but you've seen such big names. I mean, it's the Tiger Woods tournament and course, isn't it? But for him to have such a fantastic opening round, take the early lead, but then to keep it going again in round 2, which the days were all confusing. So by the end of Thursday, for him still to be holding the lead. And then Saturday, so you had got in touch with us after the second round to say, like, what should I do? Should I cash out? Do we think he's going to keep going? And we had put it out to our followers, and everyone was like, you have to ride with it. You have to keep going.
That was the big thing, because I liked him that he was with Brendan going into the third round. If it was somebody else with a little bit of pressure on there, I would have probably been a little bit nervous. But everybody, all my friends, my golfing friends, are all like, just let it go. It's only $100. It's only $100. And luckily, I had the DraftKings lineup too to kind of hedge. So I was still rooting for him to win the tournament, because I still had, I was the only one that picked him to do that for my DraftKings lineup. So nonetheless, it was a fun weekend. It's a great tournament. It's one of my favorite tournaments. And just by chance, I was listening to you guys, and I'm like, oh, I kind of like this pick. So I'm like, okay, I'll do it.
So when you cashed out at the end of round 3, were you on the fence, or, a big factor would have been when you saw the fact that he was playing with John Ram and Tony Finau, and we know how Ram feels about Torrey Pines. His performance on Saturday really was quite a surprise for him not to come out fighting and really put the pressure on Sam. I'd said to Elk, do you think that had a detrimental effect on Sam's performance on Sunday, in that, you have these two massive names and they're just not playing up to their capability?
Right. And especially with Rahm's rounds in the second and third round, to climb the leaderboard like that. And then you see Tony Finau, Max Homa, all the big guys for that tournament were there. I knew it was going to be pressure. So I'm like, okay, I survived the round after round 3. I'm just going to cash out. So it's done. So it was an easier pick with seeing the, John Rahm and, Tony Finau in his group, because I couldn't do it. So I'm like,
so you, for your $100 bet, you cashed out for $6,400.
Yes, I did. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, and then it was good. I can't wait for your guys' picks this week. So I'll be waiting for those long shots. So yeah.
And how did you get on in your DraftKings lineup at the end of
I ended up 4th for 2,500. If Sam would have birdied the last hole, and if Heath Thigala would have eagled, I would have climbed up a little bit more. But not having Sam win, I could not win the 10,000. So, but it was good. That was a $200 tournament, into 2,500. So yeah, I'm not complaining.
Fantastic week. So we have our picks coming out just in a little while today. Is there anyone that you're liking?
I already looked at my long shots and I already bet on Brian Gay. I don't know. He's done well at this course, both courses. So he's got a little track history here. So I'm interested to see who you all pick. So yeah.
Are you going to spend your money on anything exciting?
You know, I had a really good week because I do a lot of DraftKings, and I just won a basketball tournament for $5,000 earlier on the week. I adopted a child from China, and it was her gotcha day. And like 5 years ago, I won $100,000 on DraftKings. It was on her gotcha day, and then I won this tournament. And it's the same time that I placed the bet for Sam, so it came out to be a pretty good. Whatever January 25th is, it's a day that's I'll be placing bets on that and doing everything else. So yeah, I cashed it out. It's pretty good. I have a big golf trip coming up. This is our 6th year. There's 8 of us. We play 180 holes in 5.5 days. So in Arizona. So yeah, it's a fun little trip. This will help with a little bit of money and a little gambling money. So yeah.
You bring tears to my eyes. You know how if you watch the show or listen regularly, you know what I'm like when it comes to, babies anyway.
Yeah, no, I have a special needs child. My son, Anthony, he's 15. He's in a wheelchair, doesn't walk, doesn't talk, but he's the love of my life. And then my wife and I decided to adopt from China, and she's 7. She'll be 8 March 12th. So yeah, we picked her up when she was 10 months old from China, and she was left at a doorstep at 5 days old with her umbilical cord still attached to her. But whoever had her took care of her because they wrapped her up pretty good in a blanket because it was March back in China, so it's cold there. So, but yeah, my story of everything with my son and everything, that's what brought us to Colorado Springs, because I grew up in Ohio, but we moved here about 2.5 years ago for my son, for the medicines and everything he takes for his seizures and stuff. So yeah.
Well, you're all lucky to have each other. It really is. That's amazing. And well, I wish you nothing but continued success.
Oh yeah, I'll be tweeting to you guys and everything else. And as soon as I get to my hotel in Charlotte, I'll be watching your podcast. So yeah, and then on YouTube. So, yeah.
All right, Joey. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you.
Thank you. Have a good day. Good luck to you.